and the stories that matter most, all in one place.
I totally acknowledge seeing flames is a scary situation.
WSIC News Talk Now. The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate on this Monday afternoon. Oh, Hallows. No, it's almost Halloween.
What?
Can we say that? It's
No.
Now that the summertime is basically over?
No, there's no fall, no, it's summer.
We're still there in summer.
Let me enjoy every second of it.
We're there in summer, but as of August 1st, it's going to get real hot because there's some changes coming per the new settlement agreement involving the National Association of Realtors and even now locally, Canopy accepting and being a part of that accepting of those terms and some changes being made. One of those, as we've discussed, compensation eliminated from the MLS. My understanding is, and it sounds like, and I don't know what's true and what's not, you can have acknowledgement of compensation in any system, database, website, everywhere but the MLS. Am I understanding that from your perspective as well?
Yes, according to all the meetings and trainings we've been having, nothing about commission on MLS or showing time, which is kind of connected. At first, we thought that if you could put it in showing time when you schedule a showing, you could see compensation. No, so each firm will have to come up with something. But yeah, you can have compensation at your firm's website. It's just MLS that cannot, or showing time connected to MLS that can't have compensation.
So it does seem, at least a lot of the discussion I'm hearing, is that brokerage firms on their website listing compensation seems to be the direction it's going in. Can I ask you anything about Compass? Are they saying, is that what Compass, you guys are doing that too? Do you have to input it on there if you are? Do they just make you submit something? How's that working?
We have actually a meeting tomorrow about it, or next week. Now I'm confused, but it's coming. I know they're working on it. As far as I know, it's going to be on our, Compass website. And the same thing, I know they are working on like a buyer showing addendum because of the other change.
Which, in my opinion, is a bigger change.
And it's something, and I know I am a rule follower. I know I have to do it, but it's something that I don't like.
And the big change being that in order now to show a house, to view a house with a buyer, you would have to have a written buyer agency agreement.
Yes. And I am 100% against it because I feel that, and this is for me as an agent and for the buyers, it doesn't necessarily mean you meet someone, you have a conversation at a coffee shop, you talk about your wants and your needs, you sign the working with a real estate agent, which is like a flyer, so you're not committed to anyone. But I feel, and this is what I've been doing, I show 1 or 2 houses or 3 houses first and see if we are a match, and then you sign the agreement. And I'm not going to lie, I usually have the agreement signed by the time we're ready to put an offer, because I feel that not only I don't know if I'm going to like working with the buyers, I don't know if they're going to like me, and I don't like putting this pressure of like, oh, you signed a paper and now you're stuck with me, I'm stuck with you. So I'm very happy that at my firm, the attorneys are creating a document that says, look, this is not an agreement yet, but it is like a kind of a temporary agreement to show you 1 or 3 houses, with the understanding that if we're going to work together, the next step is to sign the buyer agreement. But I do think people need the chance to go see some houses, spend some time with you, and the same for us before signing an agreement. I think it's too much pressure on the buyer and on the agent to sign from the get-go. I don't know.
It's interesting because one of the recent rulings that has affected real estate recently is not signing, even if you sign a listing agreement, let's say that's 30 years, right? Like it's not valid. But in the sense of wanting a signature at the time of showing. I'll be honest with you, the way I was taught real estate, that's a salesperson's dream right there, because you want the signed agency if you're the brokerage firm. And so now to say, hey, if you even want to view this house, I want it in writing, because it's a contract. That's the contract between the buyer, between the seller, and the brokerage firm. That's what agency is in North Carolina. And so that, for me as a salesperson, was the dream of, if you can get them in writing and signed, then you had the client, because the brokerage firm owns the client at that point. But it's different in relational real estate. That's very different right now. And so Compass is leaning into trying to find something kind of.
They are on it. I know if it's not ready, I'm guessing it's ready, and we're going to see it at the meeting. They are ready to launch everything to make the buyers feel okay about hiring a Compass agent. Like, you get to spend some time, look at a house, discuss. Because one thing, and this is a fact, one thing is like meeting at Starbucks and talking about what you want and your budget. And another one is when you actually start looking at houses. And that's when a relationship moves on and works or not. I'm very happy. I've never had anyone walk away. So maybe that's why I don't feel the need to sign, and I give the clients a chance to. I always say, hey, you don't have, it's okay. I need the working with real estate agents because that's how it works, but you don't have to sign unless you feel 100% confident that I'm doing my job. And then you sign, because then, yes, you have to sign. Back in the day, you have to sign the buyer agreement before writing an offer. And now this changed, so I'm very happy with how Compass is getting ready for the changes.
What used to be called the Working with Real Estate Agents brochure was literally that. It was a 3-fold pamphlet brochure that you would hand to somebody.
We still have to do it.
We do, but now it's called the disclosure even too, yes. Right? So it's taken to another level of, hey, you have rights as an individual in this. I'm generally telling you how this sector of the market works, but now having to have written agency signed before you can even show a property in this market of the demand that we're in, and now you got to have agency signed on top of it.
And even with the working with real estate agents, even when you explain what it means and explain it's not a contract, I know that some people, both buyers or sellers, some people wonder, because they have to sign.
Some people won't sign.
Yes, some people refuse to sign, and many people are kind of like, and you like, it's a flyer, it's a brochure, it's not a contract, it's not an agreement. You're not stuck with me. But there are people that are not okay about signing. So now they want us to make them sign an actual contract saying you are stuck with my firm and me.
Joke's on you.
Yeah. So no, I'm very happy with Compass.
We'll see how the market likes it.
We'll see.
Or rejects
Everything
it.
is new. Everything is changing. I have a listing coming up. I think I was able to finally make the seller understand the changes, what it means, and I think he's gonna offer commission.
Things are changing.
Not on MLS.
Changes every week,
yes.
Every day, every hour. The inventory, more or less, 500,000 or less, active and coming soon in the local MLS here in Mecklenburg County. Are there more or less than last week?
More.
She says more. Well, we'll find out later on in the show. Also, Maintenance Monday.
Yes.
Got a tip.
Yes. Appliances.
Good. Okay.
We'll talk appliances.
Oh, we're going to.
We're going to.
That seems like an important thing to maintain.
It is.
Unless you don't need an oven. Do you need an oven? I guess these days we can go primitive, right? And just.
What is it?
Can you do a campfire inside a house? Will insurance cover that?
Maybe.
Is that a thing? Maybe hot dogs? So. Something like that?
Let's call Josh and ask.
Okay, we'll find out more like that. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate with Claudia Ogrizek.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, it's a story that sounds like it's starting to get old, but it really is the same old, same old. Big time heat and humidity as we kick off a brand new work week. High temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100 for our Monday afternoon. Feels like temperatures up around 105, maybe up to 107. Really dangerous if you're not drinking water, staying hydrated, getting in out of the heat from time to time, and dry as we kick off the work week too. Better rain chances show up as we get toward the end of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses, like Top Notch Gutters of Statesville.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. On Thursday, Brookdale Village in Huntersville welcomes Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy, an afternoon of imagination, music, and amusement will be on the green at Brookdale Village. Dave's Amusination concert and Pick Me Up Mike are crowd favorites. Come relax and enjoy, or take the stage. It's perfect for the whole family. The fun begins at 4:30 Thursday afternoon, July 18th on the green at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. Langtree Live continues their live music series on Thursday. Alex Key takes the stage at 7 p.m. for this free concert. Event time is 6:30. Bring your chairs early and enjoy the food and beverages that Langtree restaurants have to offer. We'll see you on Thursday evening for Langtree Live's free concert series. Come see the coolest cars, trucks, and motorcycles at Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at RevFast in Mooresville. This monthly show welcomes all auto enthusiasts with vehicles on display, food trucks, beer from Hoptown Brewing, and the Hot Rod community. Come see old friends and make some new ones on Friday night after 5 at the Late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville for Hot Rods and Hops. The kids edition of Battle of the Bands takes place Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville. 6 bands, 2 stages, song versus song, set versus set with 1 champion. Come see the future of the local music scene powered by Waves Entertainment. 4 p.m. Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville with the kids edition of Battle of the Bands. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway gives you your midweek Need for Speed. This 10-race series, night number 9, is on Tuesday, July 23rd on the front stretch quarter-mile oval. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Copus Real Estate. All right, mortgage rates are in. Lowest reading since February 1st, 2024. So this is the lowest rates since February 1st, 2024. 6.81% being the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate. Does that mean anything to you off the bat for any particular buyers? Is that so close that they're finally about to, maybe they're going to pull the trigger? How do you process 6.81%?
I think many buyers will start coming back. I do have people that I did have people call me, not my buyers, but people wanting to be my clients, which is pretty amazing. People that have used other agents. Actually, I had 3 calls last week about people not happy with their agents calling me.
Uh-oh.
I'm meeting one of them right after the show today. And one of the reasons why they had tried with someone, they decided they were, and this is in general, and I want to talk about it, but anyway, buyers, let's talk buyers in the near future here. But they had kind of given up, and I think the lower interest rates brought them to a place where, like, okay, I think it's time to try again. So it is happening for sure.
We're willing to venture into the market again. We're feeling okay.
I do think that many are still waiting, and they are probably waiting something below 6.5. And everyone I talk to say, don't wait until it gets, of course, we want to get it better, but don't wait, because there are thousands or hundreds of thousands in the country, I guess, that are just waiting the way you are. And then I believe it's going to be crazy, and the multiple offers, and in our state and in South Carolina, the due diligence fee being crazy again. So I always say, get the house now and hold on, save some money, hold on tight, and then you refinance when it comes down. So you grab the price of the house right now. Many people are talking about a shifting market. I disagree. And that's what I'm going to talk about. But I don't think it's a shifting market. I still believe it's a seller's market. I just believe buyers are not being fooled anymore. That's all.
You
And
can't bamboozle us.
no, I think they're tired of, I think they've been abused
No more.
long enough. And I think they are saying it's over. Like they're not going to pay whatever sellers are asking if the sellers are being unreasonable, overpriced, bad houses in poor condition. I had a listing and I've been talking to agents and in the real estate groups on Facebook, people are saying, oh my God, what's happening? We're not selling anymore. Houses are sitting on the market. Well,
It's been on the market 2 days. What's happening?
no, but it's happening more days, and
Oh,
people are complaining
12
like no
days.
showings, nothing happening. I put a house on the market Friday. Showing started at 5 o'clock. I already had offers before we ever hit the market, and we had multiple offers. Happy sellers, happy agent in 24 hours. I had 2 open houses that were crazy busy. Why? Because I had the conversation with my sellers. I'm like, we have 2 options. Kind of sell it as is for a lower price if you're happy about it, or we work together. Let's make some changes and prep the house. Nothing crazy. A few hours, not a lot of money, and we make it look amazing, and we get multiple offers. And they trusted me, and we did get multiple offers, and my sellers are very happy. So do I still think it's a seller's market? Yes. But I do think buyers are tired of being abused since COVID. It's been too tough. And now they're like, okay, I'm not going to pay whatever you're asking. And I'm not going to take a house in any condition just to get a house. Because now you have the high interest rates, meaning, of course, it costs more to buy a house, plus the price of the house, plus the condition of the house. And buyers are being more demanding and saying, okay, I'm ready to buy, but come on, give me a good house. So if you get a good house, you sell it quickly and for a lot of money.
How do you balance then between, this one day or one appointment you're with a seller, you're listing a property, you want highest dollar you possibly can, and then the other appointment later on that afternoon you're with a buyer, nah, it's too much money, right? So how do you find balance in those two sides?
I think I always say real estate, it's a kind of like a bipolar profession because you change completely, even with the same clients. I have many clients, of course, that are selling and buying, and it's 2 different versions of me, right? As a seller, I am mean and like, let's get it ready and then as a buyer, I want to be nice to my clients and mean, fair, but mean in a certain way to the other side. Always fair, but it's 2 different approaches. You have to approach it in a different way. You cannot be the same agent when you are a buyer agent and when you are a listing agent.
Can't be the same.
You cannot be the same.
2 different people.
Yes. So, yes. But again, I had, so after the multiple offer situation, I had another client. I'm getting a listing ready. Seller didn't want to do anything. And I said, look, it's your option. I think you're making a mistake. You're not going to get the money you could, putting a little effort, spending a little money, and making the changes I'm suggesting. So finally, yesterday, for the 3rd time in like a week, I went back to the house. I had a serious conversation, and especially after knowing how much he pays for mortgage, I kind of said, I forbid you from like selling it as is because it makes no sense.
No more.
No more. I'm like, you have to have this house ready and make good money. He pays $1,700 every month, and the house is worth probably, after he does what I'm suggesting, probably $600,000. I'm like, it's $1,700. Like, come on, don't let go of the money just because you don't want to make a few changes. Again, nothing crazy. Just get the house ready.
Both sides want advice. That's part of the big deal with the settlement and the lawsuit is, hey, everyone should have representation. Everybody should have equal access to see every property, and it doesn't matter about commission. But in North Carolina, you can't represent both parties in a transaction.
You can. If your clients are okay with that, you can. I've done it. I think I don't like doing it, but I think I did it twice or 3 times because my clients asked me to do it, which was very cute. Both sides agreed that they wanted me. They wanted me representing, knowing that from the moment I do that, I have to kind of step back and not help either side like as I should, but they wanted me. And actually my sellers and then the buyers were happy too. They said, we want you to make all the money. They literally said that, like, you deserve the whole thing, so do it, and we're happy about it.
But again, having buyer agency signed before you get in the car, or really, I mean, that's really what it is, right? I mean, I guess technically, can you drive in front of the house and just look from the outside as long as you don't take the buyer in the house?
I guess.
Let's go neighborhood
You just
hunting first.
You just point at the house and say, hey, that's the one.
This is our introductory appointment here. This is your one chance. Do you like this neighborhood or?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. And I hope every firm, I mean, I know I don't want, never mind. I want Compass to do it because then people come to me. Come to Compass. I'm not going to, we're not going to hold you hostage of a contract unless you feel okay about hiring our agents, and me especially.
And representation is a big part of it. There's also the material fact situation, right?
Yes.
A lot of that's arguably what a majority of the complaints are that are happening at the commission level right now. Have you run into any fun material fact scenarios recently for
in my deals?
Sure, in general, nothing.
No,
you've been able to stay away from the drama that is.
Thank God, yes.
Which is good.
It's been yes, because I think again, I'm not a GC. But I plan on being a GC. I think I pay a lot of attention in every single, and I've done this since the beginning. I pay attention to every aspect of every transaction, from the inspections to the attorney to the loan. So I would say I know, I don't want to brag, but I think I know more than most. So I'm always looking and learning and observing. So most of the times, if, let's say I'm showing a house and I see something, I check it immediately to make sure we're not going to have any surprises. So I guess maybe either I'm lucky or I was ready for whatever material fact that could have been discovered.
You discover that your appliances aren't working. Is that a material fact?
I guess kind of ish, not all, but yeah, because like washer and dryer, no, it's not part of the house. So, but it could be part of the contract. Mm-hmm. But either way, you have to. Today, actually, I have a client getting ready for her closing, and I was just going through the whole package with her, and I explained the thing of like, when you get a loan, they want to make sure you understand you have to pay the mortgage, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay the insurance, and you have to maintain your house. The bank giving you the money makes you sign a paper saying, I will maintain this house. So that's why it's so important to talk about maintenance, because the bank is saying, hey, if in case we need to take the house back, we have to make sure you have maintained it properly. And that includes appliances.
See, we could have different definitions of maintain though, because look, I'm fine within a microwave reheating up spaghetti sauce without it being covered with a napkin. So some of us just look at things a little differently.
So yeah, even
you see,
it's so shocking.
That's how shocking
I just lost everything.
That's it, and that's
I know
the difference.
It is true that people see it differently for sure. Yes, but I'm trying here we are trying to educate people and explain what maintaining your house means.
I don't even go.
We're helping everyone.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing, as we do each week here.
Yeah.
Exploring the market, more or less, 500,000 or less, Mecklenburg County, active and coming soon in the local MLS. Are there more or less units available on the market than last week?
More.
Wow. Wow. Diligent thought.
And I have my notebook. I'll never forget it again. So I'm going to write it down.
We're going to write down what the number actually this week. So the next week when I ask you, is it more or less?
Yes.
And you say more.
Whatever. Yes.
Then we would know if that's even true or not. Okay.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, it's a story that sounds like it's starting to get old, but it really is the same old, same old. Big time heat and humidity as we kick off a brand new work week. High temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100 for our Monday afternoon. Feels like temperatures up around 105, maybe up to 107. Really dangerous if you're not drinking water, staying hydrated, getting in out of the heat from time to time. And dry as we kick off the work week, too. Better rain chances show up as we get toward the end of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is looking for HVAC rock stars. If you want to work for a company that values its employees with great pay and benefits, then give Horn Heating and Air Conditioning a try. Horn Heating and Air Conditioning, hornhvac.com.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. After months of talks, Macy's cutting off buyout talks with two financial firms, saying their nearly $7 billion offer is not enough, and it's determined to turn things around on its own. So it announced plans to close down another 150 stores over the next 3 years and upgrade the 350 remaining ones. Investors wanted Macy's to get sold. Shares of that chain right now are down almost 12%. Elsewhere on Wall Street, some gains today for stocks, all the major averages, thanks to bank shares that are higher. That's after strong earnings from Goldman Sachs. And shares that would gain from a second Trump presidency, like Truth Social owner Trump Media. Shares are up 37%. As for the Dow, it's up 0.6% right now in record high territory. The Nasdaq and the S&P both up about 0.4%. And two California wineries, Kendall Jackson and La Crema, now the official wine partners of Team USA basketball, both the men's and women's teams. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Now, more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Wrapping up the conversation. What were we even talking about before?
The buyers. Maintaining the house. Okay, before break, maintaining the house. And when you sign your closing documents, unless it's cash, and most people get loans, if you get a loan, one of the documents you sign says, I understand I have to maintain the house. The bank giving you the money expects you to maintain the house. And you said you warm up like tomato sauce with no...
It sounds like something I would say. With no napkin?
No napkin.
That sounds like something
which
I
is a
would do.
big mistake. Yes.
It's a problem.
It is a huge problem.
You ever done it with Alfredo sauce too? It's even worse.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's thicker. Yeah, that's how it goes.
But do you see me doing that without napkin and cover and everything?
I can't say that I do.
I think you know me well enough to know that I have it all
figured
out.
Next time you show up by our house, go straight to the microwave.
And just
I'll
bring
open
a
the
little
microwave
tomato
door.
thing. Yes.
You want to know how these people live? Boom. That'll tell you right there. If it's clean and sparkly, okay, let's look at it.
And this is, you're making fun of it, but it's,
No,
I
I'm
go
not making
when
fun.
I'm getting a listing ready to hit the market,
Yeah.
I go through my seller's house and I point at stuff I don't like. And I'm like, if I'm bringing my buyers, I'm going to look at this, this, and that. So take care of it. Oven, like dirty oven.
Yeah.
No. The vents. Like the filters, dirty vents, baseboards, oven, microwave. I go through stuff because I always say this is kind of shows the person who lives here. And by the way, just in case people don't know, all my listings include cleaning before the photographer comes. Thank you. I paid for it.
It's one thing to see the house in photos, how it looks all nice all the time and pristine. But like you said, people are living their lives, and sometimes cleaning up before showing isn't really, feasible. And that happens from time to time. But there's a lot of sellers that have these cameras and stuff like that inside their house too. Do you run across the sellers that have that from time to time and
course, all
talk
the time.
to them? Because they're not allowed to listen,
No.
right?
And I have the conversation. I'm like, don't do it. And many times they promise they won't. Many do respect that, but a few, let's say, text me like, oh, they just said, I'm like, what did I tell you? Do not listen. Do not watch. You would do the same thing in someone's house. Like, they are entitled to their opinion. Stop watching. But when I was getting ready to list, and I was filming the content to list the house, I was rehearsing what I was going to say on camera. So I did it over and over again. And I texted my clients at the end. I'm like, are you watching me humiliate myself, making mistakes? And they're like, we don't watch it. We have a rule that the cameras are for safety only. So we do not watch. We're not watching you. We don't watch babysitters. We do not watch what's going on. But there are people that cannot help it. And they do tell me. They just said, whatever, the backsplash is ugly. I'm like, well,
I told you the same thing
karma.
before we listed the house.
Yes. I'm like, karma, stop listening. So we'll see.
And then for the photography and getting ready, I remember a point through COVID, you didn't even have to have pictures, right, for a property. I mean, you literally just put it in the MLS just to send out the all call for 1,000 offers, like you said, even your listing, right? Multiple offers before even going active. Is that
no?
Is that
in general? Yes.
Is that a thing? Do you have to get the photos of the house even anymore, or do you find it to be just like a waste and a part of the process?
No, I think if you want the best offers and you want to attract tons of buyers, do the homework and do the best you can to advertise the house and market the house.
Drone photography too? Is that
everything.
Pretty much a basic? That's
everything
default
yes.
now.
Yes, everything.
Because there's a point where that was only luxury. That was getting the drone photography.
I think it's very important. Unless there's nothing to show, and there are houses that would not benefit from the drone. So of course, it's like silly to do it. But if there's something interesting to be shown, I think drone photography and video is extremely important. But I'm not saying every single listing needs that. Some don't.
What about virtual tours and brochures?
I think, I do the video, I do the great pictures, I do the detailed floor plan. For me, this is number one. I hate when I see any listing just with the outside doors. It's like agents being cheap. You pay I do think that you're saving $50 from like I don't even know the name, but the walls and the fancy floor plan detailed, showing closets, showing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every single listing of mine, it doesn't matter if it's a $200,000 or a $2 million, every single one of them will have the detailed floor plan because, as I said many times, in theory, the house works. And then people see the layout or the size of the bedroom, the size of the closet, and they know it doesn't work. So they will not waste their time coming, and they're not going to waste my seller's time leaving the house so they can see it, because they can see how the whole layout is, each room, each closet, each bathroom, and decide, yes, I want to see this one or not. So I'm doing this as a favor for both sides. And again, I think it should be, instead of worrying about compensation, I think the rules should be like, agents, if you want to be an agent, do the right thing. work and really get your house ready for the market with certain rules. And if you're not willing to spend the money, go do something else.
Is the market back at that place where buyers can spend the time to care where the closet door is and what side it opens, and like that's the kind of market we're
And
we're in
that's
again?
why when people say, "Oh, the market is shifting," I don't think it's shifting. I think it's still a seller's market. It's just that the buyers are not being manipulated by the market anymore. They're not desperate and buying whatever, especially because they know it's costing them more money. So many times it's not worth moving.
To buyers, is the conversation with buyers of the ones that are buying, hey, we're expecting to be here longer, we anticipate being in this house longer, or no, is it still not whatever happens, it could be a couple of years and no one's really caring about the, hey, I'm buying in at 6.8% or whatever the number is, or 7% on their mortgage right now. How is any conversation like that of length of time potentially?
I always have the conversation. I always talk to them about knowing kind of, and of course life changes, things happen, but on average, right? I always ask, especially when it's, let's say, in a tough market where the perfect house is probably too expensive for everyone, not necessarily because of market value, but because of interest rates. So many people kind of are looking a little below what they could. I always say, can you see yourself, and this is my number, can you see yourself living here for 2 years? 2 years on average, I would say you at least, if you sell or keep as an investment and buy another one, 2 years you kind of on average, you break even and you can possibly make some money buying now. And so I always say, can you see yourself, if this is not the forever home, and it never is, but in theory, people are looking for their forever home. This is not the forever home. Can you see yourself living here for 2 years? Yes, do it.
What about even new construction? That includes new construction too?
Yes. Oh, yes. I sell a lot of new construction, first-time buyers. There are many people moving from out of state. Since last week until Friday, bless you,
Thank you.
I have 4 closings, 4 new construction homes. 4 different houses. 2 are first-time buyers. 2 are people moving from California and New York.
And just coming in here and it's okay because the price difference alone is a significant difference?
Yes, of course. Especially talking about California and New York, it's nothing for them.
No-brainer?
No-brainer. They are in shock that they can buy a much larger home in probably nicer areas for less than what they sold their house back home.
Let me ask this. So which area of this area, because you understand the different neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of is, over the past week, is there one particular area that you seen you were more involved with, whether that be North Side, down in Charlotte, maybe Ballantyne, Belmont? Over the past week, though, is there any particular market that you just heard a little bit more?
Lancaster, South Carolina, York, South Carolina, Charlotte, like West Charlotte behind the airport. I love going there because I'm obsessed with planes and I get to see many planes, and Troutman. So literally all over.
So now the disclosure at closing that says, hey, this property's in the flight path is a good thing. We like seeing airplanes now.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I've had clients who are looking at houses and they can hear the planes. They're like, no, so this is not okay. And I'm like, what? I would be outside watching the planes all day. But I would say most people don't mind it. I love it, but most people are okay with it.
Not a problem to.
They don't love it like I do. No. It's a sweet sound of dreams coming true. For me, like traveling the world is a dream. So each plane is like, it's always for me. Don't you think about like, where is it going? How, is this someone's flying for the first time? It's just, and with a future flight attendant at home, I have to love it.
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis, in just a moment on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, it's a story that sounds like it's starting to get old, but it really is the same old, same old. Big time heat and humidity as we kick off a brand new work week. High temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100 for our Monday afternoon. Feels like temperatures up around 105, maybe up to 107. Really dangerous if you're not Drinking water, staying hydrated, getting in out of the heat from time to time, and dry as we kick off the work week, too. Better rain chances show up as we get toward the end of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. On Thursday, Brookdale Village in Huntersville welcomes Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy. An afternoon of imagination, music, and amusement will be on the green at Brookdale Village. Dave's Amusination concert and Pick Me Up Mike are crowd favorites. Come relax and enjoy, or take the stage. It's perfect for the whole family. The fun begins at 4:30 Thursday afternoon, July 18th on the green at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. Langtree Live continues their live music series on Thursday. Alex Key takes the stage at 7 p.m. for this free concert. Event time is 6:30. Bring your chairs early and enjoy the food and beverages that Langtree restaurants have to offer. We'll see you on Thursday evening for Langtree Live's free concert series. Come see the coolest cars, trucks, and motorcycles at Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at RevFast in Mooresville. This monthly show welcomes all auto enthusiasts with vehicles on display, food trucks, beer from Hoptown Brewing, and the Hot Rod community. Come see old friends and make some new ones on Friday night after 5 at the Late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville for Hot Rods and Hops. The kids edition of Battle of the Bands takes place Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville. 6 bands, 2 stages, song versus song, set versus set with 1 champion. Come see the future of the local music scene powered by Waves Entertainment. 4 p.m. Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville with the kids edition of Battle of the Bands. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway gives you your midweek Need for Speed. This 10-race series, night number 9, is on Tuesday, July 23rd on the front stretch quarter-mile oval. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek. Yeah, we focus on North Carolina real estate, but I'm curious, what's up in Brazil right now? Anything going on as far as fun with real estate or anything like that, or anywhere in South America or anywhere in the world that maybe your client's coming from? And somewhere fun? You got any international clients right now?
I always, yes.
I know you always do.
I do, yes. Actually, right now, all the Brazilians I had closed on their houses. Do I have any Brazilians? Or I have people from Netherlands coming in August, but they are not ready to buy unless the perfect house comes along, and it hasn't. They're going to rent for a year because they're expats. They're going to be, people that come for work. So they're not 100% ready, or they don't even know if they're going to be here for more than a year. So if we can, by the way, if you have a cool, nice rental, pretty, updated with a pool, give me a call.
Just
ready.
Like that?
Yes.
Ready to go.
Valentine-ish. But it has to be updated and nice. Please don't give me the ugly stuff because it's so sad. The rental market. I do help people that are renting.
Ouch.
In any price point. Again, when I became a realtor, one of my missions was that I was going to help people that need a house. And I would not discriminate. So it's not that I only help people buy and sell. Some people are not ready for many different reasons. I will help them. But rentals they are horrible right now. Again, because of inventory. So most owners, landlords, landladies, they don't do anything. So the houses are in bad shape and dingy and ugly, and they can do it because there's nothing out there, and some people just need a house, and they'll pay whatever you have for.
Speaking of inventory, it's time.
It is time.
For more or less.
Okay, let's do it.
Claudia Ogrizek. Each week I ask you the same question. 500,000 or less by county. Looking at Mecklenburg County, active and coming soon from the Canopy MLS, the local MLS. Are there more or less properties available this week than last?
From the number we don't remember.
From the number we don't which I would concede to you that number can be 1,409 last week we'll use as a baseline.
Okay.
More or less this week?
More.
Claudia Ogrizek says more. There are more properties active and coming soon available than last week. 500,000 or less by county. Looking at Mecklenburg County, which last week was 1,409. And you are correct.
Oh, yay!
1,484.
Oh, wow. I'm going to write it down.
Write
this
it
time,
down.
1,489?
1,484. Don't get ahead of it now. Don't get ahead of the market.
Maybe 89 is next week. So I'm writing it down. I'm going to bring my green notebook and my green pen next week so we know. What are you doing now?
I wanted to give you
the
okay. award. So that's what that was. Yeah, there it is.
Finally. I never know what's
all right, so inventory moves up in a positive direction as far as more units active and coming soon on the marketplace. Was it enough to move the needle for the market? Do we see the market calm itself down now compared to last week?
I don't think so. It's not enough. It's going to take, I don't know how many thousands, but we are far from being kind of balanced. And again, the thing about the market shifting, no, we still have way more buyers than houses, new construction or not. We still need more houses on the market. It's a fact. So is it better? Maybe a little, but nothing that could say, yeah, buyers are happy now. No. But the interest rates are coming down, which is good and bad at the same time. Because
well, double entendre.
Because then the buyers that are just waiting and hiding might start looking again, and then the competition is tougher. Again, I just told you, one of my brand new listing, we got multiple offers, all pretty good. I have happy sellers, and I'm a happy agent because there are many buyers, and I almost feel like, holding the buyer's hand, even though many had the agent, but like trying to find more inventory for them.
And what about the cash buyers here who are also looking for inventory? Are we still seeing a lot of cash buyers?
Yes.
Does that make proof challenge? Is it moving? Is it pushing things?
I don't think so.
Everyone's just fighting for inventory, the qualified, not qualified price.
And the cash buyer has this kind of they think they are too good sometimes. Sorry,
cool
but
guy
it's
vibes.
true. Like, oh, I am a cash buyer. And because they are cash buyers, they tend to either lowball or offer less. And then again, it's a matter of the listing agent having a conversation with the seller saying, hey, these people are pre-approved through underwriting. They are pretty ready to go. So it's pretty much the same thing as a cash buyer, and they are offering more. So why leave money on the table? So I don't think, because cash buyers have a tendency to offer less, it ends up being kind of the same, unless it's a seller that is desperate in a very rough financial situation. They don't want to take a chance, or the house is very rough and they are afraid of the appraisal coming low. I think having a loan is as good as having cash, honestly, if your agent is good.
Well, and the contract says that, presenting cash to the seller. They don't care in what form, whether that be a loan to the buyer or whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's more about the buyer's qualification. And there's certainly enough buyers that are qualified in this market, even the ones that are obtaining financing. Mm-hmm. Are you finding more or less, let's say, lenders in the marketplace, right? Like at the height of, I feel like the COVID time of everybody getting loans, there's all different kind of lenders and products out there, like the brokerage community that's probably starting to shrink. Are you seeing the same from the mortgage side, would you say?
Yes, because like you just said, COVID, everybody got their real estate license, everybody became a loan officer, and then when they realize it's not as easy and you have to hustle, many people are leaving the market. Many agents are giving up, many loan officers are giving up. And I do think that with the new rules and the MLS, the commission and everything, the buyer agreement, I think more people will drop out and leave the market.
So what do you think has the bigger effect? The compensation or lack thereof and not being able to list any sort of compensation in the MLS, or buyer agency being required in writing before viewing a home with a broker?
I think The compensation is, I don't think it as a big deal. It's just like a one extra step to find out if and how much it's being offered, and if it's not offered, you have to send an addendum. So it's just an extra step. It's nothing crazy, but I do think, I don't know, I don't like the buyer agency agreement, forcing someone to sign an agreement when you never tour a house with an agent before. I'm going to give an example. At my open house, many people came without their agent. Some people were unrepresented. Some were represented without their agent with them. And then there was people there with the agent. And I was watching her. She did nothing. She literally followed the buyers in silence until they left. And I'm like, oh my God, poor people. Like, who is this agent? She's not helping, not talking about the pros, the cons, or asking questions, or trying to point out the good and the bad at the house. She was literally just following them around. So think about if this is after August 1st when we have to start using the buyer agreement. These people, I don't know if they have a buyer agreement. I just know she was the agent. And now these people met her at a place, and she doesn't educate, she doesn't help, but they are stuck with and I do understand that, of course, if you sign an agreement and you're not happy, there is a way out, right? You tell. But I also know that many buyers feel like they're kind of afraid of saying, hey, I'm not happy with you. I do think that people are like, oh my God, now I signed, can I say something? So I hate that, because again, you are putting buyers in a position of not necessarily knowing if the agent is good and if it's a good fit for them. I don't like it. I'm happy with Compass. We're going to have an addendum.
What about when it's a friend who asks you to do something? Does that ever get weird for you? Sometimes you got to tell your friends, like, hey, I know you want to buy that house.
Mm-hmm.
I know you think that your house is great and we're going to sell this for top dollar, but y'all a little nasty.
I'm very happy to say that now at the position I am as a top producer, I can be very honest, and I would not being rude, but being pretty honest about, what they can expect. So that's the beauty of being a top producer.
Do you ever
I'm not hungry. I don't need the money. I want the money, but I don't need the money. So if you're not willing to work with me and listen to me, knowing that I know what I'm doing, I'm not a good fit.
Speaking of being hungry, what about sellers that want to leave snacks out, but they got a dirty oven and they should be maintaining it? What about them?
Don't do it.
You got time
Unless
for maintenance? Maintenance.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Appliances. Make sure you clean everything from your washer and dryer. And YouTube is beautiful for that. Look for videos teaching you how to clean the filters in your washer.
Mm-hmm.
Your dishwasher has a filter that you have to clean, or you should clean every now and then. Your dryer, of course, we talked about it in the past, but all appliances have a way to be cleaned so they last longer and they work better. They save energy. So go on YouTube and just put, how do I clean my washers, filter, my dishwasher, etc. Maintain that house.
That's what you do.
Yes.
And what else you do? You watch and listen to Today's Real Talk every single week. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek. You can catch it live every Monday from 3 to 4, and you can also catch it on demand on all the social platforms, WSIC News app, wherever you get your podcast. Every which direction you can see Claudia. And if you want top local representation and truth, you want someone who cares and will help you appreciate the process. And that's what you do each week.
Yep.
And so thank you for sharing some of your stories.
Of course.
Join us next week for more adventures. Will she get it right? More or less? Nobody knows.
Serving you better.